New Zealand Select Committee, Treaty Principles Bill. Turn the clock back a few decades. New Zealand was such a fantastic place to live and bring up young families. But, sadly today, with the introduction of woke politics, especially over the recent past few years under the Ardern-Hipkins government, New Zealand started to rapidly go down a gurgler, financially and morally. The Ardern-Hipkins Labour woke politics have not only driven too many decent Kiwis out of the country looking for a better life overseas, they have turned New Zealand into a cesspit of crime, poverty, sexual perversion and racism. This is the hallmark of pure socialism at work. No wonder the Green Party and Tea Party Maori support Labour. Well done. Racism in New Zealand has now reached appalling levels, spearheaded primarily by greedy rich elite iwi, the Waitangi Tribunal, far-left racist MPs, racist local government councillors, and now, very recently, also by some tax-exempt interfering racist church leaders. Racism in New Zealand has to stop. It's nothing other than apartheid. It's destructive, harmful division in society, and it's what socialism thrives on. It's what the Labour, Green and Maori parties thrive on. As long as society is split apart by divisive policies, then these parties thrive in power and control. That's why they want racism and apartheid to thrive in New Zealand. Without division, these parties would fail overnight. Granting special rights based on race is guaranteed to cause division, resentment, and conflict within society. Apartheid will only foster feelings of superiority or inferiority among different racial groups, undermining social cohesion. A political system that offers rights or privileges based on merit, contribution, or need, rather than race, will definitely promote a fairer, more just society for everyone. Such a system will encourage unity and cooperation across racial lines, focusing on shared values and common goals. New Zealand not only has to get rid of racist Maori electoral seats and racist council Maori wards, they also need to define into law what the treaty actually means in a modern society, and legally define into law what is a Maori, or do they? There is overwhelming evidence that Maori are not indigenous to New Zealand, and that the peaceful Moriori race before them would be much more qualified to claim such title, so there should be no need to even discuss Maori versus non-Maori in the first place. Like it or lump it, this is racism, this is apartheid, this is Labour, Green, and Tea Party Maori being deliberately destructive and divisive to cause social unrest. It's their power gameplay to get themselves back into power and control. Everyone knows what happened to the peaceful Moriori race that lived in New Zealand long before the brutal, violent, savage Maori cannibals arrived, but quiet please. Let's not discuss or teach these truths in governments or universities. It would destroy the socialists' narrative. There is no need in a civilized country for Maori to have any form of rights that are different than any other person, even if Maori were indigenous to New Zealand, which they are not. Politically, the goal should be to ensure equality of rights for all races rather than giving one race special rights over another. Ensuring that all individuals, regardless of race, have access to the same rights and opportunities is the cornerstone of a fair and just society. Even if one argued for granting special rights to a certain race due to past injustices, it would be impossible to justify or implement such policies in a fair and balanced way. Societies are increasingly multicultural, with individuals of mixed ancestry, making it impossible to assign rights based on race without reinforcing the divisions those policies aim to remedy. The foundation of modern political philosophy, especially in democratic systems, is based on the idea that all individuals are equal under the law, regardless of race. This principle is even embedded in key documents like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and many other national constitutions. In a just society, no race should have rights or privileges over others, as this would undermine the very concept of fairness. A system that favors one race over another contradicts the idea that all people should be treated equally, both by the state and by fellow citizens. Having separate Maori and non-Maori electoral rolls is racist and it's a system of apartheid. In any event, what on earth is a Maori? Defining someone's ethnicity, particularly when they are of mixed race or mixed ethnicity, is complex, as it involves aspects of heritage, culture, personal identity, and often how society perceives them. What quantum of Maori blood do they need, if any at all? Many people of mixed race or ethnicity prefer to embrace all parts of their heritage, defining themselves as multi-ethnic, biracial, or mixed race, without prioritizing one background over another. Why encourage racism and apartheid instead? Why cause such political division, if not for only power and control? This is a serious political issue that the Labour, Green and Tea Party Maori parties must address publicly and also be held to account for. Official forms like the census or various applications require individuals to select one or more ethnic categories, which might not fully capture the nuances of mixed identity. Some people may choose to define their ethnicity by the heritage of their parents, or grandparents or distant ancestors, regardless of their blood quantum percentage. The most decent, respectful and accurate way to define one's ethnicity is by allowing them to self-identify. This will allow an individual to consider their own experience, upbringing, and connection to various cultures, depending on how that person interacts with different aspects of their background. Such an approach will also automatically avoid the need for racism, apartheid, Maori council wards, Maori electoral seats, the Waitangi Tribunal, and all racist MPs with their destructive and divisive political agendas, including their gravy train fantasy narrative interpretation of the Treaty of Waitangi. The essentials of society should be based on need, not race. New Zealand should be one country, with one people, one vote, one flag, and one voice. Thank you for listening. Geraint on behalf of WhangāreiTim.